Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, respected faculties and colleagues of North South University, our MPPG and EMPG alumni, and our current EMPG students, and our special guest, Dr. Dewan M. Humayun Kabir, Additional Secretary and Project Director A2I. Assalamu alaikum and good morning. We are extremely pleased to have you with us today in the SIPG Alumni Reunion 2023, organized by the South Asian Institute of Policy and Governance, SIPG. I am Farin Shabnam, Research Associate of SIPG. Today, we have gathered here to celebrate the bond we formed during your time at North South University. We have the pleasure of welcoming alumni from various graduation years, each with their unique experiences and stories. Distinguished audience, let us get started with today's proceedings. First, I would like to invite Dr. Rizwan Khair to convey the opening remarks. So.
It's my pleasure to welcome all of you, and it's also my pleasure to see many of you after a long time. Okay. As you know, SIPG has been regularly organizing the alumni get-together almost every year. And some of you are able to join, some of you are, because you're outside the station, cannot join. But we are very happy that we have got a large, very good response this year for almost 60 ex-alumni participants. The whole idea of the alumni is not what you have learned and, have a good time and, together, but also to the alumni across all institutions give back to the institutions they have passed out from. So, I mean, that's a very important part of the alumni network. And also you form networks among yourselves. So these gatherings are actually a crucible for that kind of bondage and linkages, and also finding out ways and means how you can actually strengthen the institutions that has enabled you to pass from. Okay. With a little bit of that background, let me give you a breakdown of what we have done for the last, 10 batches. We have got 10 batches we have passed out from the NSU MPG program, starting from the batch 1 to batch 10. Is only recently have called out the fresh applications for the 11 batch. And I'll also request you to help us to get people in that batch. Just to give you a little bit of breakdown, I wanted, Farin to give me an interesting background that we have got right now 171 alumni who has passed out to the program. Of that, the majority of them are actually, Bangladeshis. We got 120 alumni, so it's a Bangladeshi bias to a certain extent. So, and of the Bangladeshi, alumni of 120, 107 of them actually belong to the civil service, covering different cadres from admin, information, audit, accounts, tax, police, even postal. So we get different cadres. We yet to get foreign service. Just I'm looking at Ambassador Shoilok on this. And then the 13 others are for different professions. They are from research, engineering, embassy, NGOs, and also university teaching. In fact, one alumni of us actually she has become an university teacher. Then from Nepal, who are also a strong partner, we've got 37 alumni. And among them, 9 of them were from civil service of Nepal. And interestingly, 28 of them in Nepal were from other professions, from, the NGOs and the private sector to a large extent. The Sri Lankans had a small cohort. We had 14 of them. And among them, 10 of them, most of them are actually our teaching professions. We haven't got too many civil servants from Nepal. Then we had one Bhutanese, only one person from Bhutan, and she was also from the civil service of Bhutan. So that gives us an quick snapshot picture that though the MPGG has been focusing on civil services, not only civil service, as days go by, I think we also the number of other professions are coming in to add value, to understand. So you need also a cross-cultural interexchange of ideas among yourselves to make the nation successful. So that's the snapshot picture. Today's alumni meeting, we will focusing today. We have just to give you a little bit of brief, we've got one of your ex-teachers, Professor Ishtaq Jamil, waking up early in the morning from Norway and joining us at 6:30 in the morning, if I'm not mistaken, Ishtaq, right? Ishtaq, unmute yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Yes, it's very early in the morning.
Okay, then we have got two participants from Sri Lanka. Both of them are university teachers. We haven't got anyone joining yet from Nepal. We expect some of our Bangladeshi colleagues who are outside Dhaka to join us, online by Zoom. And I hope that we will have more participants streaming in, trying to slip in. One of them has just slipped in right now. So we will probably have more participants coming in and joining us the rest of the day. Before I actually, go to the next part of the program, I think I'll ask the faculty and the alumni to introduce themselves. Okay, sir, I think everybody knows you. Just to remind that you still exist.
Just tell my name. My name is Salahuddin Aminuzzaman. I hope I'm not still lost my way to you.
Tawfiq.
Good morning, sir. I'm Porimal Sarkar, Joint Secretary, now working in Lane with Asian Development Bank. I belong to the second batch of MPPG. Thank you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. This is Mahmoud Ibn Qasim. I'm a Deputy Secretary. I belong to the second batch of MPPG. And currently I'm working as a Deputy Project Director in Dhaka Ashulia Elevated Expressway Project. It's under Bridges Division. Thank you so much.
Just ask him when he's going to finish.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. I am Ahmed Kamrul Hassan. I am a student of second batch of MPPG program. Now I am working as a Deputy Secretary in Finance Division. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. Me, Kausar Jan, Deputy Secretary, working in Economic Relations Division, Ministry of Finance. And I was also in the second batch of MPPG. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all of you. This is Mohammad Kamrul Hassan. I belong to the first batch of this MPPG program. And currently I'm working at the Prime Minister's Office as Director Innovation. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. This is Moshumi Habib, Deputy Secretary of Bangladesh Government, now working in Deputy Project Director in Metro Rail Project in Bangladesh. And I belong to fourth batch of MPPG. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to you all. This is Tawfiq Ahmed Khan. Presently, I work as a country advisor for Bangladesh and Sri Lanka at Give to Asia, a donor organization. And I belong to fourth batch of MPPG. Thank you.
Very good morning to all. This is Saurabh Sutar. I am working in Farmers Market Asia as business finance specialist. I am belong to EMPG first batch.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Morning to all. I'm Ikramul Sadi, working in the High Commission of Malaysia as Press and Political Officer. And I am from EMPG first batch. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Just to give in, introduction to the APGG, we have actually started a second stream of Masters Executive Program. So we have called the first alumni of the first batch, and we have also invited the second batch, who's actually doing their classes, just to have interaction with you. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. This is Hassan Mohammad Benyamin, faculty at North South University. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. My name is Nazmus Sadat. I am now working at the Finance Division as a Joint Secretary. Indeed, I did PhD in 2014-2016 period from this university under the NORHED program. So I am the first batch of that type of program. Most probably there are no other batch indeed completed that type of program. So it is very good for me, and I feel honored that Northern University has invited me to join this program. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. I'm Shakil Ahmed from Jahangirnagar University. Assalamualaikum and good morning to you all. This is Mohammad Mijanur Rahman. I'm currently working as Director Research of Bangladesh Academy for Rural Development, Kumilla. Thank you very much. I'm a student of first batch.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning to you all. This is Shibli Sadiq and I'm working in Ministry of Public Administration as a Public Relations Officer and I belong to 6th batch. Thank you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to you all. I'm Tarek Johirul Haq, currently working at the Ministry of Information. My current post, I'm posted in Bangladesh Betar Silet. I belong to BCS 24th batch, and in terms of MPGG course, I belong to 3rd batch. And recently I have completed my PhD from the University of RMIT, Melbourne, Australia. Thank you. Thank you all.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. I am Mesbaul Islam, presently working as Deputy Station Engineer in Bangladesh Betar, and I belong to MPPG 4th batch. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all of you. This is MD Mazharul Islam. I am Civil Service Administration cadre 38th batch and from the MPPG 5th batch. Right now I am working at the Law Officer and Executive Magistrate from the Rapid Action Battalion. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. This is Mohammad Shahidul Tarif from MPPG 5th batch. Currently, I'm working in Bangladesh Betar in the maintenance section. I'm actually from information cadre. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Catherine Lee. I'm the Director of the Office of External Affairs, and I taught one of the communication courses, so it's nice to see some of my students here.
Good. My name is Shahidul Haq. I'm a faculty at SIPG.
Well, you can start. This is Abdul Wahab, also faculty at North South University, and also the coordinator for Center for Peace Studies. Thank you.
Good morning. This is Mainul Haq Khan. I'm Program Officer of SIPG, North South University. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Akram Hussain. I'm working as Assistant Professor at this Department of Political Science and Sociology. I'm very pleased to see some of the faces of MPPG and lots of memory with you from 3rd batch to 7th batch. So very good to see you all. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning to everybody. This is Muhammad Mofizul Islam. I'm working under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare as the Deputy Secretary of the government, and I belong to SIPG 9th batch. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to all. This is Muhammad Ashraful Islam. I am currently working as Joint Commissioner of Taxes in Taxes Zone Dhaka. I belongs to SIPG 9 batch. Thanks SIPG for arranging this nice gathering.
Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. This is Mohammad Mamun, Deputy Secretary. Now I'm working in Cabinet Division. I belong to MPPG 9th batch.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Tawhid John Pavel, Deputy Secretary. Now I'm working as Director, Anti-Corruption Commission Bangladesh, and I belong to 8th batch of SIPG. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Ronuk Jahan. I'm a student of 1st batch. Now I'm working in Bangladesh Betar as Regional Director under Ministry of Information and Communication. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. I'm Mohammad Nurul Deputy Secretary, Minister of Planning. I belong to MPPG 8 batch.
Good morning. This is Shahriar Muhammad Farhad. I'm from MPPG 5th batch. Now I'm working with BRAC, Urban Development Program. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Shakir Mohammed. I am from EMPG 1st batch, and I work at North South University as a research associate.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. This is Mahfuzul Alam. I am from MPPG 5th batch. I am Deputy Secretary to the government and now working as a consultant at A2I program, and I'm very happy to see my project directors are here. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning. I'm SM Bashir Ahmed from 8 batch MPPZ, and I'm working under National Board of Revenue at large taxpayer unit. Thank you very much.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Nusrat Jahan Shubi. I am a student of MPPG 4th batch, and I am a Business Information Cadre of 28 batch. I am working with Bangladesh Betar.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. I'm Tausif Akib Khan. I'm from EMPG 2nd batch and I'm currently working at BAT Bangladesh.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Momsaid Nubari. I am from EMPG 2nd batch, currently working as a project manager in Total Engineering, which is actually a MEP consultancy firm.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ahmed Ihsan Kabishan, involved in the RMG sector of Bangladesh, belonging to the 2nd batch of EMPG. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Irada Hamid, working at London Trust International School as an admin officer. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to you all. My name is Mohammad Wahid Hossain. I'm a retired civil bureaucrat and now working as the country director of a US-based NGO, Agami Bangladesh. And I'm currently a student of EMPG 2nd batch.
He has opted to come back and relearn things.
Hello, everyone. My name is Shadman. I'm a research assistant at SIPG.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everyone. I am Mohammad Parvez Hassan Yusuf. I'm working as a research associate at SIPG.
Assalamu alaikum. Mahmoud bin Morshed, working as research assistant of SIPG. Thank you.
All right.
So my name is Farin, research associate of SIPG.
Okay, thank you, everyone. I am. People are going to come in later on. We may go for the later part later on. So welcome. Let me welcome you all.
Would you ask the students joining online to introduce?
Okay, yeah, sorry, I forgot about that. I can see Nadika from Sri Lanka. Nadika, can you give your...
Yeah, Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. I'm Nadika Damayanti, belong to the 2nd batch of the MPPG. Nice to meet my friends online and my sons, Istiak Jamil, and everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadika.
Good morning, sir. I'm here, Kanchana. Yes, I belong to. Am I audible to you, please?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I'm Kanchana. That I'm from the MPPG 4th batch, and let me to brief. Like I'm also working as a teacher plus researcher. I'm the country coordinator of the main study, which is advancing evidence for the global implementation of spatial repellents, which is led by UNITAID, Notre Dame University, and Johns Hopkins University. So under the supervision of them, I'm leading the 2-year main study here in the country. And thank you. Let's see to share more details later. Thank you.
Thank you, Nadika. Anyone else? Arkewase? Okay, I think that's probably we thought that some Bangladeshis may join from the field level later on. Okay, with that, let me welcome you all and then we'll move on since we have actually, short of time, move on to the next phase. All right.
Thank you all. I'm glad to announce that today's session chair, Professor M. Ismail Hussain, Pro-Vice Chancellor, North University, has joined us here. Now, I'm delighted to welcome Dr. Dewan Muhammad Humayun Kabir, Project Director, A2I Program, and Additional Secretary of the ICT Division, Ministry of Posts, Telecommunications, and Information Technology, Bangladesh, as today's special guest. Dr. Kabir has started his professional life in field administration of Bangladesh Civil Service. He held key positions like Deputy Commissioner and District Magistrate, Additional Deputy Commissioner, UNO, SAC Land, among others. He also served in Bangladesh Parliamentary Secretariat and Prime Minister's Office as Director of Administration. He is credited to a good number of books and articles published from home and abroad. We eagerly await your words of advice and reflection, sir. The floor is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. The Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. M. Ismail Hussain, Pro Vice Chancellor, North South University, and Professor Dr. Rizwan Khair, Associate Professor. He was my ex-colleague. And faculties present here, most of them are my direct professor. And there are some online connected, like Professor Istiaq Jamil, sir, Nadika, and Kanchana. And many of our ex-colleagues are here working different stations and our also colleagues. Thank you so much. It's very difficult to speak before my direct professor. Very difficult. You will not understand. If your professor is in front of you, but you will speak as a guest, it's very difficult. I think they will ignore my mistakes. So, thank you so much for your courage. And as I'm a professional bureaucrat career, my career is 25 years in the civil services in Bangladesh. So there are some ironies of civil services. In most of the, except Lee, I think then some of our foreign guest faculties, most of us hear the word Dilli ka laddu. In English, it is called the irony of desires. So when we study in the university, most of our in our country have a desire to be a civil servant. But after getting into the civil service, the most cases, they're frustrated, you're getting posting, promotion, and blah, blah, blah. Then what's next? That's the interesting history. You see, there is a jokes. You look, you are not so that much at you look in an ID card, national identity card. It's not clear, black, something like that. But you're not so beautiful as it's been saying in your profile pics in Facebook. Facebook, you have just getting into a different way. And most spouse think about their opposite. That is, husband is thinking, wife is thinking that he's not good, but he's not that much of bad. But your mom thinks that you're so best one, but you are not so best one. Then in most cases, the man desire that he will have a very beautiful Miss Universe type of wife. But her activity will like the maid servant of your house. That will not be taken place. Even again, the most wife desires that her husband will earn like Mukesh Ambani, but behavior would be like the Gandhiji. That will not happen. It's useless like that way, if I'm not mistaken. In most cases, civil servant always feel a concept that's we call the decidophobia. They do not take to decision in proper time. It's called the decidophobia. They suffer from taking decision in right time, right manners. That's the one way. And finally, I'll just share some of my experiences referring to our historical background of our careerism. So if you go through a documentary by BBC journalist Michael Palin, you know the Alexander the Great conquered this subcontinent. So the Michael Palin tried to identify the route, the trace the Alexander the Great came from Macedonia to India. And he reached this India in that following that trace. So if we want to go further, then we have to look through our background of the civil history. The first one, there are two terms currently used as hubris and nemesis. In economics, it is already used. It is coming from the Greek methodology. Hubris means the bureaucrat, most cases think they're the big one. They don't care others, especially in LDCs and developing nations. So this that lead to the destruction of his career or even the career of economy or the career of the country, even governance process failure. And nemesis is the ultimate destination, that if you go through the concept of hubris, then you will go for a suffer a most sorrows, that's called nemesis. So, and what the next we can do for, so if you've gone through the Bangla book from the Dr. Akbar Ali Khan, the late, very renowned civil servant. So one of his book is Parartha Parathar Arthaniti, Welfare Economics. The second chapter of this book is called in Bangla it is called the Shuorer Bachar Arthaniti. In English it is called Economy of Piglets. He identified 3 types of bureaucrats. The first one, honest but slow in work. Second type, dishonest, take money, but it's like a speed money, they work faster. And third one, they took the bribe but do not work. They are the economy of piglets. So that's there's the 3 types of bureaucrat identified by our ex-civil servant, late Dr. Akbar Ali Khan. So I can give you one example from the history. You have heard the name of the Chanakya or Kautilya, this in economics, that's called Arthashastra, study of economics. Here he identified, just as it is impossible not to taste honey or poison that one may find at the tip of the one's tongue, so it is impossible for one dealing with the government funds not to taste at least a little bit of the king's wealth. That's the government wealth. So it's been written before 2000 years back. So that's it. And interesting, currently we are following for doing our day-to-day work in the government offices. We follow the Secretariat Instruction 2014. It has been started in 1899. How it took place, that's very interesting. The Lord Curzon, you will find a building in the Science Field in Dhaka University, the Curzon Hall, in science faculty. He was the youngest viceroy and the governor general in Bengal, Lord Curzon. When he was been posted here as a governor, he find in public works, there's identified 4 problems. The first one, they don't have any records. They don't have any information hub. They only speak of, but don't write. The first one. So they need the permanent recording system. The second instruction he given, there is have to be a written document for all the files of government works. Then third instruction is there will be separate from the files and the letters. And third one is the important letter should be marked by the flags. In Bangla, we call it a Shonglag, Songjukti, blah, blah, blah. So it's also currently having this type of works that has been done in the hard copy. But currently we have moved from hard copy to soft copy. We started from A2I initiatives, National E-Service System. Then we move forward to electronic noti or e-noti. Now currently we are enjoying the e-noti, digital Bangladesh, meaning digital noti system. So that's the changing from the honorable concept of honorable Prime Minister, Her Excellency Sheikh Hasina. That's the beauty of the leadership. How one analog Bangladesh can change can be transformed into a digital Bangladesh by a single leadership. Then now we are moving forward to Smart Bangladesh 2041. Then what we can do? That's the question. This is now the age of learning throughout your life, the digital skills. You cannot ignore the digital skills first. Then second, networking. There's the entire global McLuhan's the global village concept. You are connected in everywhere. You will connect every dots. That will add your beauty, ease of doing business, and take you to the last miles. Then active time, using active time. So no buck passing. So use your most precious time. So everyone is getting the same time. The rich or poor, the intellectuals or the non-intellectuals having equal time. But it is the people who can successful, they use the time. Then collaboration is the mandatory, not only the government to government, but collaboration of the every aspects. In currently, we are following the smart Bangladesh. This is the concept is the smart citizen, smart government, smart society, and smart economy. That means that it should be inclusive. After the when we started our digitation 2008 on after the declaration of the election manifesto of Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, then we started with almost zero. There's the only internet access was 1%. Only 10 to 15 services are electrically provided. Now we have 70% internet access and almost 2,000 sub services. And now we are connected almost everyone. Then 18 crore SIM are registered in everyone. Even the last person also having their one mobile, smart or analog. So in COVID, I was telling with my professor, in COVID, while we are disconnected physically, we started to look after the last miles people. How we can, it was possible. We just use the telco data, poverty mapping. Having the reference from the Togo, say the rich people used to have top up 1,500 or 2,000, but a rickshaw puller or day laborer used to top up only 20 taka, 30 taka, 50 taka, and the talk time is less for them, and for the well-off, their talk time is greater. So that could be the technology we can use this to develop ourselves and networking. And I can gauge one references from the 1970 that has been given the 20 manifesto of bureaucracy. It has been defined by the very interesting, sorry. Mao Zedong. I think after this 1970, that is almost 90 years, 20 and 50, 70 years, you find. In 20 manifesto, he said, the first one, at the highest level, there are very little knowledge. It's all been for bureaucracy in 1970. If you can synchronize with our system, you'll find that there is no changes, truly. Then second, there are second manifesto, there are conceited, complacent, and aimlessly discuss politics. Still, we are entering into politics, but not contributing in the even the governance process or making the complications of the governance process. The second, they are very busy from morning to until evening. They labor the whole year long. They do not examine people and they do not investigate their matters. And then fourth, their bureaucratic attitude is immense. They cannot have any directions. They are egoistic. The fifth, they are ignorant. They are ashamed of. They are ashamed to ask anything. Question. They don't feel to ask question. And the seventh, they are negligent about things. They are subservient as they can. They do not have anything to do the people. And the eighth, they do not complete learn politics because you have to understand the political economy of the country. Then they are stupid. They are confused. 10, they want others to read the documents. The others read, the other read and they sleep. Even criticize about looking of the things. And the government officers grow bigger and bigger. Things are more confused when they are in the top. Then documents are numerous. There's red tapeism, instruction table, and the schedules are so many, but they ask for that, but never read. Then they seek pleasures and fear hardship. They encourage backdoor dealings, not in front door. But technology is now in our hands. There is no scope to backdoor dealing because we are not moving forward in smart Bangladesh, paperless or faceless offices and cashless society. So there is no scope to, I think, when we will be able to establish the cashless society and paperless office, that it will be happen. Then the greater an official becomes, the worse his temperament gets. Then they are egoistic, They satisfy private ends too by public means. Then they fight among themselves for power and money. The popular leadership cannot be harmonious, united. That's what we are trying to be. There is no organization. They employ personal friends. Their revolution is will is weak. They promote erroneous tendencies and speech of reactions. And so that's the thing. Do you think that it has been changed? 70 years back. So how we can move forward? That's the question. As the understand by the Honorable Prime Minister, Her Excellency Sheikh Hasina. He understands everything. I am lucky one. I used to work with her for last 4 years. Very simple, but very far-reaching. This is the country who have made a document, Delta Plan 2100. So 80 years back, we have planned. So hopefully that will be one of the very influential, very potential and role model country in 2100. And hopefully in 2041 will be very smart country as well as a very developed country. It will be referring country for others LDC and developments. In the few weeks back, our development partners sat together in the Washington DC. They said India for technological progress, India is not the referring nations or the role model because their private sectors are more efficient, more well off, and their technical universities more competent. So it's been understanding the beauty of Bangladesh. Say having huge challenges, how they have transformed analog Bangladesh, keeping the limited resource, keeping the huge number of population, huge number of challenges, how they have transformed to digital Bangladesh. That's the beauty they want to learn. Currently, HY is working with the 20 countries. We are providing our knowledge and technology to other countries. Even we are providing currently, this time also we are working 3 countries. Even the Philippines is learning from us. Our one delegation is currently working in the Philippines. One team is working in the South Sudan. One delegation is working in the Gambia. And we provided that e-commerce solution to the Turkey and Yemen and South Sudan. So that's we are working that way. I'm just finishing my yes. So what we can take place working together. The first one, networking, collaborations, and experience sharing. In India there is a smart platform sharing bureaucrats' experiences, knowledge, because you'll find the intellectual knowledge in Google or even smart ChatGPT, but you'll not find the experiences if you don't share. That will help you to keep your footprint in your service, in your society, in your country, even in the whole globe. So network is very important. Technology is there. So I quote Ivan Illich. He was he was a Roman Catholic priest, theologian, philosopher. He said, "Carry a candle in the dark. Be a candle in the dark. Know that you are a flame in the dark." Should we? Of course. Otherwise, it will not be happen to see a good Bangladesh or a good globe. Then question of come, how we'll do it? It's the innovations. It's the innovations. We started our digital journey with the concept of innovations. Kamrul is here. He is currently doing the Prime Minister's office. We started the creation 2 important organizations in our bureaucracy, GIU, Governance Innovation Unit, to ease of doing business, not only in business, but in every aspect of government life. And that is just reduce the papers, reduce the steps, and do the changes in the natural changes in the rules and regulations and acts. Then it has been coordinated by the Reform and Coordination Committee from Cabinet Divisions. That we change is huge. Then innovations taken is institutionalized. We have offices in innovation team in every government offices. And we have introduced the APA, in our performance agreement system. And there is mandatory provision for innovations. This innovation does not mean you will apply the only technology. 60% of them out of technology. This is the manual process. Then after simplifying, then you will provide the technology, machine learning, and then other things. Then what are the needs for the civil servant? The first needs is entrepreneurial spirit, actionable insight, data skill, digital skill, collaborative skills. And challenge are the formation of the core policy team in every ministry and divisions, identifying priorities of the areas of intervention and innovation, taking a step to address the negative impact of LDC graduations, then developing a culture of making evidence-based policy making and database policy making, and essentially capacity assessment of capacity and addresses the issue accordingly, and concentrate on research and development. It has been very absent in public domain and the private domain. There is no R&D. There is no academia and the market linkage or bureaucracy linkage. That's very important as I'm feeling. Then government structure will be on 3C. First C is the contextual, data driven, everything will be. Then second thing is the coordinated, coordination in human side is very impossible in Bangladesh, but coordination machine to machine is very simple. Then cognitive, understanding the people's needs. If you don't understand the people's needs, you'll fail. Ultimately, giving me a time, I'm really happy, sir. It's an honor for me. I'll be connected every moment, every time. It is dedicated for the changing of the internations, not only internations, in the whole globe. Thank you so much. Be blessed. Joy Bangla.
Thank you, sir, for joining us and sharing your valuable insights with our alumni community. Now, I would request Mahmoud to play a short video on SIPG. Distinguished audience, now I would request Dr. Ishtiaq Jamil, Professor, Department of Government, University of Bergen, to address the audience today.
Right. Thank you very much. Do you hear me? Okay. Right. Distinguished guests and dear colleagues, friends, and the alumni. It's always nice to be among the alumni. I should have been there physically, actually. But still, though I'm not, I don't meet the alumni often, but I'm connected to some of you through Facebook. So I'm quite updated the events around you. So you cannot hide from me. So I know what's happening around you. So my name is Ishtiaq Jamil, and I teach at the Department of Government, which is the second largest university in Bergen. And our department, which has changed its name to the Department of Government, is one of the 4 partners in the collaboration that developed the Master in Public Policy and Governance program. So along with NSU, the South Asian Institute of Policy and Governance, we have 2 other universities. One is Tribhuvan University, the Department of Public Administration at Tribhuvan University, and also the Department of Political Science at University of Peradeniya in Sri Lanka. So these 4 partners have joined hands since 2007 and developed the Master of Public Policy and Governance program, which later transformed into an institute, which you all know is the South Asian Institute of Policy and Governance. So our history of collaboration is not very old. We started in 2007 with Tribhuvan University, in fact, with a PhD program. And in 2008, North South University joined. And in 2009, it was University of Peradeniya. So we have established a PhD program at Tribhuvan University, the MPPG program at NSU. And in 2013, we combined master located at NSU, PhD program at Tribhuvan University, and then we have these postdoc fellowships in these 3 universities. And we are very fortunate to receive financial assistance from NORAD, the Norwegian Agency for Development Cooperation, and the Ministry of Education in Norway under 4 different programs. And so far, we have received a substantial amount. I don't remember the amount, but it's quite substantial, which has been very generous in financing all our activities. We have 3 major components in the program. First is the education, which comprises the MPPG and the PhD. Then we have the research. We have conducted several surveys in these 3 countries. In addition, our postdoc, PhD and MPPG students are and were heavily involved in research. And the third component is dissemination. We have already published a number of books, scientific articles, reports, and some policy briefs, and more are in the pipeline. When we started in 2008 with the first batch of MPPG students, some of you are here in this gathering, we had very little idea about organizing the program and how it would fare or fit in a new context with a new setup. So it was an experiment, a patch-up of many ideas, combined with many innovations and creativity. We can see that these have worked very well, and the results have been very positive. In the present, we see that our alumni have been ambassadors, not only of this MPPG, in their workplace, in terms of accomplishing tasks in a more efficient and skillful manner, but you have also been promoting the image of MPPG to your colleagues and superiors, and encouraging them to apply to this program. Investing in alumni is one of the most best and cheapest ways to advertise a program. Now, we can proudly say that the MPPG is now on the verge of being institutionalized. Even though the program is new, I think it has become a mature one. Now, the future challenge of MPPG will be not only in terms of future collaboration or consideration, but also in terms of maintaining its relevance, attractiveness, and utility to the contemporary world, because policy and governance are changing and being altered in a rapid manner. There are many wicked problems such as climate and migration issues that need to be addressed. And in the age of globalization, multiple governance are needed, such as from hierarchy to market and now to network mode of governance, which my previous speaker spoke about. So we need to equip our students with relevant and appropriate knowledge to cope with challenges in the modern world. So the MPPG need to be attractive, relevant, and useful. But this can only be achieved by research-based education. And we have been doing this by focusing on North-South and South-South collaborations. The collaborations and cooperation among these four partners have been instrumental in both teaching, research, and knowledge dissemination. Our ambition is high. We'd like to extend further the MPPG, even though we are not able to start a doctoral program, which is in fact our ambition. But we'd like to see that MPPG continues to attract qualified students from different regions of South Asia. I would also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to the leadership of North-South University. We have been very supportive and also have been very encouraging from the very start actually of the program. I'm also very grateful and extend my thanks to the leadership of these four partner institutions. And to our alumni, you have been fine ambassadors of this program. So we would like to attract the best and most deserving candidates. We're really proud of you, and please continue to be our mirror to the outside world. Wish you all the best and wish for your bright career. And my last advice to you, being most of you are in the civil service, that be with the people. As my previous speaker spoke about, that be with the people because they're the ones who need it the most. So thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, sir. Now it's time to welcome today's session chair, Professor M. Ismail Hussain, Pro Vice Chancellor, North-South University. Besides NSU, Professor Ismail has taught in different public universities in Bangladesh. He is also a life member of Bangladesh Economic Association and Bangla Academy. He was also a member of the panel of economists for preparation of the 7th and 8th five-year plan of Bangladesh. He has authored and co-authored numerous book chapters, scholarly articles in refereed academic journals. I would kindly request him to address the audience.
Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Dewan M. Humayun Kabir, Project Director A2I Program, respected Professor Ishtiaq Jamil, Professor Rizwan Khair, my respected colleagues from North-South University, distinguished participants, alumni participants, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. It is my great pleasure and honor to speak in this SIPG Alumni Reunion 2023 program. Today, we have invited you, the prominent alumni, and you have responded to our call. So thank you very much for attending this program. I think this program will give you some opportunity to mix with your batch of students and also the other batches of students who are contributing in Bangladesh, in Nepal, in Sri Lanka, and in Bhutan in a significant way. So I express my gratitude on behalf of North-South University for joining this program. You had busy schedule and you work in different positions which demand your time, not only in weekdays, but also sometimes on weekends. So you have sacrificed your duties and join us here. So thank you very much again. Our SIPG is, I consider as a jewel in the crown of North-South University. As you remember, India was considered a jewel in the crown of British Empire. North SIPG program gets the best cohort from different countries for training and educating. And they're already successful in their early profession. And this education, MPPG, prepares them for better performance as professionals in the civil service and also in other services. So congratulations for your successful career. I have seen here, we have some joint secretaries, some deputy secretaries. Okay. So they are in mid-career or late mid-career, early advanced career. So they are all contributing in different areas of their profession. And I believe that this education has helped them taking decisions in public policy arenas. Our chief guest has, through his wisdom, knowledge, and experience, have highlighted many, many pitfalls in civil service activities and decision-making activities. But nevertheless, I think this program has benefited each one of you, every one of you. Sometime in 80s, I believe, Professor K.N. Raj is a famous Indian economist. He used to say that Indian bureaucrats are knowledge-proof. We have heard before bulletproof, but he coined the term knowledge-proof. Why? Because the Indian civil servants were very adamant. They did not like to get any advice from university professors or educationalists. Okay, so he coined the term. It is jokingly that Indian civil servants are bulletproof. Knowledge-proof. This SIPG program has shown us that our civil servants are not knowledge-proof. Actually, they are knowledge-hungry. Okay, they have already achieved their masters. They have passed master's degree with great success, and then they have joined this program. So they have not stopped learning formally, but they have again come back to university to learn formally. We also learn informally and in other ways, but formal training and formal education, MPPG program has demonstrated that Bangladeshi and other civil servants are not knowledge-proof, they are knowledge-hungry people. So congratulations for demonstrating this particular aspect of your life and career. And in this context, I must mention that our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has introduced scholarship program for people who work in the bureaucracy. Okay, it is a good program, very successful program. So you see, our Prime Minister is also very positive about not training, learning, higher education for all the civil servants, okay, so that they become knowledgeable, more knowledgeable and more effective in decision making, so that Bangladesh can transform into rich country by 2041. Okay. I do not have much to say. I would thank you again for participating in this particular program, and enjoy your program throughout the day. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, sir. We from SIPG would like to express our gratitude for such encouraging words. These keep us motivated. Now I'd request Rizwan sir to continue with the proceedings. Sir.
Rizwan bhai, some of the new
Yeah, I will.
comers are there, so they introduce.
Uh, What we will do is actually, we'll, shuffle around the program a bit since we started late. I'll start off, so this part of the program, I invite all of you to have your, snacks and the tea is coming, tea or coffee is coming. So this part of the program will be a prelude to your cultural program and lunch, but we'll be a pretty good as informal as possible. I'll probably start off with a few new people that have trickled in since we finished our, last, introductions. Maybe I can start with Nasreen, who was the last one to come in. Nasreen? And Bushibol.
Thank you, sir. I am Nasreen Sultana. I am Deputy Secretary in the Ministry of Commerce. Thank you, sir.
And for which batch in PGG?
I am from 8th batch of FPPG.
Who else came a bit late? Yeah, I think, yeah.
I'm Janisar Rajad, Director, IT and Public Service Audit Directorate. I'm from 9th batch. Thank you, sir.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good day to this very august gathering. This is Mohammad Khadimul Bashar. I'm working as Joint CGDF, member of BCS Audit and Accounts Cadre. I belong to MPPG 6 batch.
আসসালামু আলাইকুম আমি জান্নাতুল ফেরদৌস বিশেষ ইনফরমেশনে আছি আমার ডেজিগনেশন অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্ট ডিরেক্টর আমি 9th ব্যাচ এখানে কমপ্লিট করেছি থ্যাংক ইউ
Bushir.
I have introduced myself again. I'm saying this is SM Bashir Ahmed, Deputy Commissioner of Taxes, working at large taxpayer unit, sir, under national.
Oh, you did. I forgot. Yep.
Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon. This is Mohammad Shakil Mahmood. I am working as a Director, Policy and Advocacy in Bangladesh Investment Development Authority, that is called BIDA, and I belong to 2nd batch in North South University. And thank you, sir, for inviting me.
Assalamu alaikum and very good morning to everyone. I am HMD Sarwar. I am Executive Engineer of Bangladesh Power Development Board and I belong to MPPG 10 batch. Thank you, sir.
Anyone else that I think that covers in? I think people will still trickle in. Thank you all for coming. Since the formal session has ended, we'll keep it as informal as possible. As I noted earlier, and people have talked about it, the alumni are the goodwill ambassadors of not only the program, they also can add great value to the society itself. Thank you for, Additional Secretary Humayun to actually raise the question that actually you can become very good change agents. And we hope that you will take the skills and knowledge you have taken from the MPGG program and add more public value. So, my take on the civil service is that not all the, or not the 100% of the civil service are knowledge proof. I think there are a lot of people within the civil service still, they actually actively engage in knowledge if given the right time and the space for doing that. And I believe you as the next generation of civil servants, we have passed, both Shoaib Bhai have retired. So we are, trying to give back to the society and our junior colleagues a little bit. I think it's your turn to actively engage, not among yourselves, but also trying to engage with the rest of the bureaucracy in the society in order to push Bangladesh into 2030 and 2041. So you need to be a very active player in the next game. We would appreciate that, you not only come once a year for the get-togethers and have a good time, but also continuously engage with us. I'm very sure that you know that the MPGG has been granted access to the North-South University Library, which you are free to use. And we will urge you to use that access because you're the only alumni of North-South, if I'm not mistaken, who have been granted the full-time access to the university resources of the library. So please feel free to use that, and that will, and as we said that it's a continuous learning, and you should actually polish up your skills and try to give back to the society. Now, what we would like to use this session to do is to take your, feedback about the program, how we could improve the program in the years to come. We have finished 10 batches. The 11th batch is going to start, and we are trying to get some more courses there. But we'll appreciate from your, from your own experience, and both while working, studying in MPGT program, and then going back to your area of work. How can we improve the program? What sort of courses that you'd like to have, and what really worked for you, and maybe also what did you didn't like about the course itself? Okay, most likes and dislikes. So the floor is open. Anyone can raise a hand, and we'll really appreciate your inputs there. The other thing I also would request you at this point, our colleagues will actually at one point you're going to give you your list. We need to continuously update your list, because for example, according to one list, one of the MPGG alumni was still in the field. I see he's working back in the ministry. Even I didn't know that. Okay, so we need to not only continuously get your information up to date. So please update the information in the list when it's passed on to you. So I'll invite all of you to speak freely, on the course itself. Yes.
Sir, can you mention about the case?
Okay, I mean, I was okay. Thank you for reminding that, because I wanted to have with Benjamin as the driving force behind this thing. We have started a very small case study program in the MPGG program, which looks at your experiences of things that you have done differently, things which made a change in how you deliver public services, how you give better services. These are very small case studies. Sometimes you use your names, and sometimes people are not very comfortable in using their names. But the lessons of these case studies are very relevant for not only teaching as case studies in the master's program, they're also relevant for teaching the future generation of public servants. So I will urge all of you to come forward, share your experiences with us, and we're going to convert them into small case studies. If you want to be a part of the author of the case studies, you're most welcome to that. If you want to take a back seat and remain incognito, that's also welcome. But the experience are important for us to please take part in the program. Thank you, Benjamin, for raising this issue. In fact, in one of the case studies, I had to get help of Humayun to track down civil servants who was working in Bandarban. Then he moved to Cox's Bazar. Then I discovered through 2 years he's working as in Brahmanbari. That bit of tracking was needed to, because I also came to know about it. One of our colleagues in the training program itself. So when one of the colleagues said that this young officer did that, and that brought interest in that. So please feel free to share your experience and knowledge with us. We're going to convert them into case studies and get back to you. With that, let me get back to what I actually want from you is your ideas and inputs of how to make the course more active and more relevant to the not only the civil servants, but people would be interested in the program itself. So the floor is open. Anyone?
Ice break. There are so many case studies done from the field studies. Currently, sir, we are using the e-Nothi or e-mutation. This has been coming from the field. So every year we are putting a Bangabandhu Public Administration Award. So many of you are on the queue of the getting the public
Are
service.
quite eligible if you come up with, you see, the problem with the civil service, we do a lot of things, it's not documented.
So one reason is.
Okay, thank you, sir. I have a question to our honorable project director to aspire to innovate program. Digital transformation is not very old idea, and the final stage is digital government or e-government. And we know that digital government was a election manifesto for the present government, and now the vision is smart Bangladesh. And my question is, except digital ICT cadre, without ICT cadre, how we can implement this idea? Because ICT cadre is a specialized cadre, and without the specialized knowledge, I don't think that digital Bangladesh or smart Bangladesh can be achieved. And is there any objective or is there any provision for the government to recruit ICT cadre for next time? Thank you.
Thank you so much. My word is not the last word, but what development has taken place so far, I can share. The first one, we started the digital Bangladesh almost zero. I have talked about when I was giving my speech, the first one. Second one, we do not want to have a very big bureaucracy, not so many cadres, because they need in my organization, Spare to Innovate, that's earlier name was Access to Information. In my organizations, only I'm the bureaucrats, regular, I'm having the regular posting here. Everyone is coming from on lien. The best one from the civil service, we are putting them the even 5 lakhs taka per month money. That's the best way to not making the bureaucracy very high, very strong, because they are knowledge proof, as been said by our honorable chief guest, Pro Vice Chancellor sir. What we will outsource to catch up the best one, So I don't want to use the smart agriculture, not want to procure so many drone, so many people. It will take the long time to train them, use them, troubleshoot them, and many things happen. If I borrow the services from any private sector who have the specialized things, because in digital process or the smart process, the most important is the Uber system. So you can plug and play. E-commerce is a plug and play. There is a product, there is a payment gateway, there is a delivery mechanism, there are some confidence building. That's the way I have worked. But one thing we are working on, that's how we can give the professional benefit, even if it is necessary for creating the ICT cadre or even getting the higher salary, not regular payment structure of the civil bureaucracy. So they have been interested to work in the ICT domain and make it institutionalized. So that's been in most cases what we do. We just getting some idea without any research, we do a policy. So that's the making a very in long term, it is not institutionalized. That's been highlighted by the honorable chief guest and our anchors. So there would be linkage from the academia and the civil bureaucracy. What is needed must be tested, piloting, and getting knowledge from the home and abroad. So we'll go to the best. If it is necessary for creating ICT cadre, we'll do. If it is not necessary for creating ICT cadre, rather giving the better salary, better benefit, we'll go for that. Thank you.
Sir, just a reminder. I think in many countries there is a implemented ICT cadre. They have already implemented ICT cadre.
I don't think so that all the countries have cadres. In fact, the whole idea of the digitization is supposed to be.
And this is the provision of policy level. I don't want that they are working in the field level or like this. Okay, sir, I understand your view. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for understanding. Because the Surakha app, that's been a managing app of the vaccination of COVID-19 that's been developed by the assistant program and programmer of the ICT divisions. So that's the beauty, what we can learn from them. Now, after getting that Surakha app, we are replanning how we can institutionalize and go for the sustainable of our smart Bangladesh in 2041. So thank you so much.
Okay. Anyone else? Come on, people. Speak up.
Can I ask questions, sir?
Yes, go ahead.
The first one, Honorable Prime Minister has a plan for Smart Bangladesh 2041. What is your expectation as a bureaucrat or as a citizen? Because we are working on it. It's under drafting stage. So it will put an additional value to them.
So let me come up, sir. So let me respond to your questions. My friend is saying that we need the ICT cadre. I'm a layman in the domain of ICT or technology. So let me tell you, I undertook a course in Australia, the Griffith University. That was a 3 weeks, very regimented and rigorous course on governing the digital age. What I've learned, they do not have a huge number of people, ICT people or experts in their civil service domain. There are some outsourcing or private firms. They are just generating or exploring some ideas how things can be managed in a very simple way, user-friendly way, and in the shortest possible time with quality service. So they hire the people, they prepare their policy, they do their things. We told them we are only the civil servants, so how can you do? They are teaching us, you see, big data, artificial intelligence, different instruments of digital tools, open data. And in the first 2 or 3 days, we were highly bored. So how do you continue the 3 weeks course? After 1 week, they are saying, no, your fear is over. This week is basically a kind of ice-breaking week for you, for the civil servants, managers. Now you will feel that this is your product. Now you are in a position to know that how you can apply it, that you say the plug and play, or take the issue, there is instrument and a chain. And the next 2 weeks, we really enjoyed it. So they took us to different instruments, how people are working. Then I felt that, yes, we do not need so huge, you see the people with much expertise on the ICT domains or digital tools. For the civil servants, if you have some kind of understanding, knowledge, to some experience of the digital tools, the concept, theory, and some understanding, some orientation, that can work. But you need to be creative, innovative, and you should have a longing to work out of the box. That is in a permanent state of bureaucracy is very tough. But nowadays, because of the commitment and you see the prudent pragmatism and professionalism or you see the leadership of our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, that she is allowing you even to do something out of the box if it brings some better outcome for you and for the nation. So the digital Bangladesh initially when our country, you see, they introduces the vision, some people were laughing. How come the government will introduce it or implement it? And we have seen how we have moved forward during COVID time. And we have also some innovations in the mobile financial services, BKS and other instruments. What I feel to make it really happen by 2041, the government is maintaining some kind of linkage, of course, a greater linkage between the public and private sector domain in terms of, you see, the preparation, developing, particularly in the policy format, and some also outsourcing. But I think that government should put more focus, not only giving a scholarship, they're sending people and bringing back, but you need to see whether these things are really at work on the ground level. You are sending me to do PhD or sending me to have some masters, but giving posting to a different position, which has really no matching with your digital instrument, digital use. So the government should have a kind of database, the people I am sending, bringing them back. I should have a clear and holistic, you see, the objective, where the government can apply these guys to have better outcome and better objective. You see the outcomes for introducing the digital platform. So particularly my three suggestions of what I can make. We need to have a very strong public-private linkage or partnership, particularly in this domain. Second, now it is the young generation civil servants. We are growing old because I have only 6 years to do my job, and then after then I will retire. So, new generation young civil servants, they're quite intelligent guys. And many of the guys are having, you see, the degrees from abroad, masters from the different facilities that the government has already been provided. Through the strengthening program, even the finance division film program that has been the multi-donor trust fund, multi-development partner trust fund, World Bank and ADB film program, the financial scholarship. There are other programs too. Even the government civil servants are also having the greater opportunity that we're doing at the SIPG. People will not understand unless he or she studies at the SIPG. What SIPG is in the truest sense of the term, unless you study here, you will not understand what it is about. Because I studied in the University of Birmingham on development major in public economic and public financial management. We also had a course there, the thesis course. But what SIPG has given me, if I tell in brief, 3 C's. One is they have developed my confidence. The second point is they have developed my critical ability to analyze, to judge, to assess, to formulate policies for better outcome. So the confidence, critical analysis, and ultimately improving my competence, overall competence, particularly the conference building or conference skills. I feel that we need some kind of understanding and knowledge of the digital instrument. We need some kind of confidence to introduce ourselves, to introduce a product, what I'm going to do, and for whom is going to be working in the field. Third, the commitment that the government is demonstrating, it should be more vibrant, stronger. So commitment should not be steady, it should be going forward. And the government should already have a vision, at least a policy that which officials, which products they should take. And of course, they should have also some kind of exposure program to see which countries, the developed countries and other economies, how they're doing it. That program can also be introduced, but not just going and coming back. The program should be like that. The Australia Award course I told you, very highly regimented and rigorous. 1 week, so after 2 weeks, we understand that we are working all the day. We never feel tired. So that can be addressed. And I am quite optimistic. If the government continues the way plus more commitment, I'm sure that the country will do much better, that they can reach the vision that they're thinking. This is all about from me. Sorry, so when I talk more. Let me stop here. Thank you very much.
Just 30-second reply. So thank you for your observations. Currently, government is working on a new projects under Ministry of Public Administration. It's called GEMS project, Government Employee Management System. Before that, we are using just a PMIS for admin cadre, but it is not AI driven. We cannot understand what is your competency, what is professionalism, and what knowledge you have acquired from the different courses. So now James has been developed in that way that I can understand your capability for next generation's civil services. So hopefully it will work. And definitely you have strongly very identified the 3 country will serve for this country. And the second, the critical ability, then the competence. So we'll work. And SIPG will have a strong collaboration. Before coming here, we have a very close door talk with our today's Master of Ceremony and my teachers and my senior bureaucrats. So we'll work on that. Thank you.
Okay, well, maybe this listening to Parimol for interesting critical feedback. Listening to Parimol gave me an idea, and I'll probably use this opportunity to give sort of suggestions to Humayun, since you're in A2I. This is also a critical group, okay, who have been trained to think differently, and they are definitely change agents. We believe they're change agents. So you can also utilize their knowledge and skills in the A2I programs and get feedback from others. So you can use them as a critical group for your, when you have FD, focus group discussions, this could be a group that you could think about. Yeah, sure.
Thank you, sir. Sir, around a year back, we attended in a day-long training program here that was related with negotiation skill for the alumni. So we are benefited from such type of training program. So my expectation from MPPZ will be, we will find some frequent training program like that so that we can be benefited. And as SIPG deals with the governance related knowledge, so our from up to 2021, our focus was in e-governance or digital governance. Now we have a vision of 2041, and one of the pillar of that vision is smart government or smart governance. So in align with that vision, can we get some training program? What is smart governance and how? What are the tools and how can those tools be used for smart governance? And in regular master's program, I think there's that's in the syllabus there should be some courses like smart governance or like that. Thank you.
So 10-second edition or endorsement from the Mahfuz. So there is our ex-senior secretary, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, is a very expert. He took classes in the senior staff course in BPTC and the policy course in the BPTC. So it's very much needed in the negotiations, not only for abroad, even for our country, because especially the trade and commerce, e-commerce, digital commerce, and diplomacy, economic diplomacy, very important, sir.
We do not, right now, we do not have this negotiation component in the regular master's program, but we have this component in the executive master's program. And actually, we are thinking of including that thing in the future when we revise and send it back to the UGC. Negotiation can be a very good part of the skill building program. Interesting. And maybe picking up what you said was, yeah, I think we could arrange a program on smart governance, and we'll probably need help for this collaboration on from A to I this thing. So SIPG is open for your suggestions. If you want, we can help you to design a program here, or we can also do it in A to I, which is it's quite possible. So we can discuss this further. Okay, we got a few more
just to add about negotiation that last year we conducted series of trainings for government officials, business leaders, and civil society organization for building the negotiation skills, keeping in mind that middle income graduation of Bangladesh. So there was special courses on trade negotiation, climate negotiation, and also investment negotiation, and few others specialized. So those are pilots with support of UNDP. But I think very successfully we could have conducted it, and it can be continued. Even we conducted one for our alumni, that they also conducted a general negotiation, which was led by Professor Shoaidul Haq, and we found that there's a huge demand for it, and it's that need can be catered by SIPG.
I've got few newcomers coming in, so maybe Sadiq.
Thank you, sir. This is Shabbir Ahmad. Sir, I'm the student of MPPG of third batch, Deputy Secretary to the government. And now I am working as Private Secretary to the Honorable Mayor of Dhaka South City Corporation. Thank you, sir.
Okay, you moved from RPTC a few days back. That's what I found out. Okay, thank you, Shabbir. Good to see you. Who else has come? Start off. Nujore. Hi.
Assalamu alaikum.
Just a minute. We started from radio, communication channel, then television, black and white, then colorful television. There are some OTT now, over the top platforms. So we are from A2I, we are just developing a OTT platform for government. It will serve the government services to the citizen, will entertainment, will knowledge, and will collaboration of the resources. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I am Farjana, Assistant Director, Bangladesh Betar. I have completed my MPP course, MPPG 8 batch. Thank you.
This is Nari Dr. Kakun. I'm a member of Bangladesh Judicial Service. And now presently I'm working as a research and reference officer in the Appellate Division, Bangladesh Supreme Court. And I completed the MPPC. I am from 9th batch MPPG. Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, Ishtak, you wanted to say something. You raised your hand, right? Ishtak?
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. Yes, long time back, actually.
Yeah,
Thanks for giving me the floor. Right. I believe in institutional building. I believe in institutions functioning properly. That's one of the reasons that we tried to establish SIPG as a kind of institutions that would develop analytical minds when it comes to policy and governance. To what extent we have been successful, our alumni can tell about that. But I heard the chief guest and as well as the Vice Chancellor of North South University talking about scholarships given by the government of Bangladesh, the Prime Minister's scholarships, allowing students to study abroad. This is a very nice initiative. But I think if there is a possibility to also build institutions in Bangladesh to train civil servants, and SIPG can be one such institutions which could help the government in developing analytical minds and in kind of making innovative and creative policies. So the government should also try to invest in local and national institutions. And SIPG can be one such institution. So the additional secretary is here, Dr. Humayun Kabir. My request is to kind of relay this message to the government that institutions in Bangladesh also need support from the government. And SIPG can be one such institution that needs support of the government, because we have trained around 170 MPPG students, and some of them also have finished PhDs. So it would be a kind of nice initiative and help from the government to support this program. Because we are building institutions in other countries. Why not building institutions in Bangladesh? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ishtak.
Sir, 1 minute for a question from the Ishtiaq, sir. Thank you, sir. Government earlier was go alone was the concept. Now government understand that go alone is not the solutions. It is the solution of collaboration and partnership. Hopefully, A2I from the part of the ICT divisions and the part of from the whole government will have a very strong collaboration with the SIPG. Thank you, sir. That's the understanding.
And Ishtak, just for information, I was talking with Humayun before he came down here. I reminded him that we have MOU with the ICT Ministry. We want to revive the digital governance conference we had planned before the COVID. I think it's time for us to bring it alive again and sometime early next year. So we look forward for collaboration. We have an understanding regarding these things. Okay, the floor is again open for any inputs that people might have. How to make a better program. The program is good, but there's the good is not good enough. I think you need to be better and the best. So how to make the both SIPG and MPPG program better than what you did. You need new skills, you need different kinds of knowledge, how to make it better. So your suggestions on this. Yes.
Some of the students gave me the feedback, but I don't know, for some reasons they're not talking now.
Right, I was bit.
So
There is no, well, maybe think that Humayun is not there.
so probably hierarchy matters. So
Humayun is not there.
I'm talking on behalf of them. So one of the
This
feedback.
is the character of bureaucrats. They do not speak freely, but it's a not, it's a free session. You can speak
It's
anything.
Chatham rules applies here, so maybe you can be the spokesman. Go ahead.
Okay, so one of the feedback was to have like procurement related.
Yeah, I'm putting it this time. I'm putting it. Procurement is there.
And also the project management, because a lot of people are working on that area or going to be work, and specialized knowledge is required that can be helpful for them. So that's related with MPPG. I mean, quick, they may add more. But as honorable special guest is here, a couple of observations. He talked about the collaboration with the academia and the private sector with the government. One of the things I think the academia is struggling, one of the law, obviously law is a very big thing, that you have to take permission, if you have a project from abroad. I mean, and that's a huge, the paperwork and bureaucracy. So I don't know, I mean, what kind of things can be done. Obviously, government probably wants to monitor that what is coming and going, but probably just, going through all the paperwork, you might simplify that so that they can get the funding quickly. Like, I know at NSU, I mean, one of the faculty, she got Melinda Gates Foundation funding, and probably so far I know that the project duration is over, but, they're yet to get the funding. The permission from the ministry. So I myself was also skeptical about this kind of collaboration from abroad because of all this bureaucracy that I know. So I think this is where you can also, I mean, help us by simplifying the procedure so that we can get. And also on the top of that, government also sometimes finance this kind of research work. My brother is working, little project at Dhaka University, and I know some of the professors are also working here. Again, the problem is, I mean, the feeling that ওই টাকা নিও না নিলে ভেজালে পড়বা, ভেজালে পড়বা meaning that so many bureaucracies, rather than focusing on the research, they have to focus on the keeping all the accountings. So whenever someone else is coming, it's like it's too many. The pressure to keep all the accounting. So then eventually they get demoralized. So far I know here, someone else is working on cyber security of our power stations. If there is any cyber attack, what can be done? So probably he was also, I mean, I didn't talk with him directly, but my feeling is it's too bureaucracy. I mean, to pressure that what to do. Rather than focusing on the research, I have to focus on the administrative part. So probably something else can be done here as well. And as I got the chance to talk regarding the case studies, I grew up at PETC. So I heard a lot of stories from the senior bureaucrats because I used to call them uncle. Even I used to call Rajwan sir as uncle in my early childhood. So my point was, those things are not documented. And that can be, the learning cases for the future bureaucrats. So my RS probably will communicate with you later on. But if you have any interesting case, small things, not like digitalized things. In our part now, everything needs to be transformed into an app. Then we call it an innovation. But that's not necessarily. For example, one of the SELAN, he introduced a calling bell in his front door. And then that simplified the access to his office. In our definition, that is also an innovation. That they remove the barrier, how to access to the government officials. So that is another perspective is there was a debate about, ICT cadre, whether we can hire. So just to have my experience from abroad, they sometimes have, and also honorable guest also talked about data-driven decision making. So like in Norway, they have data analytics. I mean, probably they hire permanently because of the data sensitivity sometimes, because you may not want to share your data with the private sector or this kind of consultant. So probably a bit of this kind of data analytics, knowledgeable person you can hire permanently. And also those posts needs to be attractive, because in our cases, the program officer or programmers, in many cases, they get stuck at 9th grade and then they don't get promotion and they eventually left the job. So like in Norwegian cases, they hired the person who, they're paying, more than someone else is having PhD degree, because it needs to be attractive to get the best, the quality people in those positions. Well, that's it from my side. Thank you.
Just quick.
Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your very, very good observation and suggestions. Really, this is the days of data collection. In my childhood, I used to see a TV serial. That's the Star Trek. There's one character named Data.
Data.
This is a data. So now, from the ancient time to 2003, only 5 GB data was stored. And in 2011, only every 2 minutes produced same volume of data. And in 2013, it's creating within a minutes. So big data is a very crucial, and in World Economic Forum term it as a production factor. In Shanghai has started as a Shanghai Data Exchange. So big data and cybersecurity is the next generation capacity of the bureaucrat as well as the private sector and the specialized officer dealing with the ICT or a smart sector. Thank you. We'll work on that way.
Before I give the floor to Kausar, maybe I need to, get attention. So Humayun Tawfiq is absent, but Saudin sir is here. Since many of the alumni are actually talking about the training program, especially negotiations, I'm just thinking on my feet on this. Is we actually ran this thing on the UNDP program, but the UNDP being a bureaucracy, we wanted to have a second round. So could I actually, and this is the provincial service here, this is an interesting prospect. We have this alumni get-togethers, I thought he is back. Can I propose that, can we arrange a sort of a refresher program for the MPGG and EMPG alumni on courses like data literacy or negotiation or conflict management, and to a certain portion, could the university actually back us up on this? Because this is, I think the university needs to invest a little bit on this. So it will be a 1 day or maximum 2 days refresher course. I think you certainly can think about it. We can actually get back their feedback on what to do. That this is actually enable us to also sharpen what they have learned. So it's a food for thought.
Before answering the Honorable Chief Guest of Professor Provici, sir, I just put an answer. So, for refresher course, even the alumni can pay. Nothing without pay. So that will create ownership.
Okay, but the Bangladeshi culture, anything to pay, it becomes problematic. So we can start off with many universities offer refresher courses without actually paying. The ISS, which are read my masters, actually have refresher courses all across the world. So maybe, this is a food for the university, and maybe Tawfiq, the next board meeting, you can tweet up. Okay. Maybe 1 day refresher course for the alumni.
Generally speaking, the current board of NSU and also the leadership, our vice chancellor and pro vice chancellor, sir, they have given almost like a blank check for this. And as sir was saying, the jewel of the crown. So
I think that's a good opportunity to use the jewel.
If it really adds value, so
I think so.
And I just want to also mention that many of our alumni who have been funded by NORAD till 2016. But after 2016, actually now MPPG program is fully funded by North-South University. So we don't have any funding the NORPAT funding was there for just student exchange part that the students went to bargain. But the scholarships are given by NSU since 2016. And also the full tuition are given by NSU. So university is very generous, and our new board also, especially Dr. Junaid Kamal, the current vice president of World Bank in Washington. He himself is a graduate of public policy from Harvard, and he said that he wants to see the SIPG flourishing more and more. So I don't see any problem with this kind of the
Yeah,
initiatives.
when we make the budget for next year, maybe we can actually include that thing. Okay, any other, Kausar, sorry.
No, thank you, sir. I just want to say that because of our chief guest today, all the debates are going through ICT, but I'm not going in that, sir. But I want to say one thing, that if we want a smart Bangladesh, we need smart officials who will drive the system. And as sir, our vice chancellor says, that we are not only knowledge hungry, we are also skill hungry also. So we need to blend knowledge and skill all together. And there I want the help of our SIPG, that for officials at the initial level, masters and all those programs are very nice, very good, very helpful. But for mid-level officials, we need actually specialized training. And now Bangladesh is in its development trajectory. So we need to focus on development. And for development, we need to understand the process, that how to manage projects, how to get the best of it. So please, my request would be to arrange some short trainings like 5 or 7 days on focusing on project management, project development, project, how to make good projects and all those things. And also procurement, as our colleague says, that procurement is very important. And also I want to focus that as we did one-day program on negotiation, it was very helpful, because I am working in a ministry where negotiation happens every day. So that actually helps, and diplomacy and all those things. So I will request SIPC to arrange some training programs for mid-level officials. It will be helpful, and it will actually help in creating a smart Bangladesh in future. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Sir, I want to include something,
I
sir.
have another request, and first of all, thanks to NSU that they give us access to the library. But I also here want to request that if there is a guideline how to use the library, because it's really sometimes very difficult to access the library. So it would be helpful. And thank you so much.
Okay, we'll arrange that. Thank you, Kausar. Yeah.
So thank you, sir,
Nasrin.
for giving me the floor. The thing is that, sir, as Bangladesh is being graduated in 2026 from the LDC, so as I am in that ministry, I can give one of the information that Ministry of Commerce is thinking of creating an institute that will train the government officials about the negotiation process, skill negotiation, and it has the aim of training lawyers also who will deal internationally about the international trade, who will be skilled for that thing, and procurement and skill development. Those things are also included there. With the assistance of ADB, we are working, sir.
Yeah, but I was thinking, let me think loudly on these things. Will it be an institute within the government?
Sir.
Will it be an institute within the government?
Within the government, but that is for preparing Bangladesh for the LDC graduation. So public officials.
Nothing, there is already an institution for it.
Yes, sir.
And the problem with the institutions, training institutions within the government is they become like rest of the bureaucracy. Working in one, I've discovered that, and most of us know that they become part of the bureaucracy. So it's better, I mean, to talk with your bosses. SIPG is here to help you out. We can actually do it in collaboration. You do not need to actually create new institutions. You need to probably strengthen institutions that are already there. Okay. And many of the world, the training is not within the work within the government. It works outside the government too. Okay. So that makes people talk much more freely outside the government than within the government.
Thank you so much. Yes, I can add one thing from the Nasrin madam. The first one is after 2026, what will happen? So it's not in our mind. The patent and copyright will be very important factor.
Yeah.
No university is learning, it's a part of the law course, but no university, no training institute is focusing on that. You will understand the music after 2026. So patent, and now while I was serving in the Prime Minister's office, we have programs to outsource our training to the Coursera, because our training institute, that the bureaucratic training institute, don't have this much required capacity, much required knowledge, not skill oriented, so that the private sectors, even the Harvard University, is dealing with the case study model. So we'll go for the case study model. We can provide some of the very specific training in outsource process. Thank you.
Sir, I'd like to echo something with my colleagues from Ministry of Commerce. Same thing actually we are facing in the Bangladesh. BIDA, yeah. Actually, we have some partners, those who work something like that, Build, FICI, they are working on how to bring more investment in, also how to work with the private and government together. But there is gap in the academia. Actually, there is no academic partner with us. And what happens are actually, if we say the sun is setting, that they also say the sun is setting, but their research, I think, not like something independent actually. What we want to say, they just echoed with us. So I think academia is the right side who can traces the real challenges and who can give some ideas how to tackle these problems. And LDC graduation, actually, I also like to mention that my senior colleague already mentioned. I think, sir, North-South University or SIPG can work on, especially on the investment sector, actually, because our FDI is now really graduating, declining day by day, because due to the COVID scenario and also the worldwide climates, complex situations, this is another sector actually. NSU, how can they look into this? Because there are a lot of sectors, especially leather sector, agro-based sector, and also RNGs also always get focused, but other sectors are not that much getting not much attention. I think these are the areas that NSU can collaborate with BIDA and other organizations. I think this is my personal opinion, sir. Thank you.
I can add 10 seconds. Knowledge and skill that you are gaining or gathering, it needs certifications. Otherwise, you will not use. Even while we are constructing the Padma Bridge, even constructing the Bangabandhu Tunnel, we cannot use our welder because they didn't have they have the skill, but didn't have the certifications. So that's very important.
Regarding BIDA, I did initially talk with Mohsina about it a year back. If BIDA is still interested, we can go and actually talk about it. You didn't come back with us regarding this. And so we are most open for collaboration, because public-private partnerships work better in that training and skill building.
BIDA is an umbrella organization. Under BIDA, there are other institutes, something like BESA, NSDA, and PPP. So if we can make collaboration with BIDA, then other organizations automatically come together, and it would be what should I say, a comprehensive approach. I think it is the right approach, because after 26 is really actually country is facing the music. Actually, now it's time to make some kind of collaboration with BIDA, I think, sir.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes.
Yes. Thank you, sir. First, I express my gratitude to SIPG for arranging such a nice program and a special guest as such a nice and personality, Dr. Humayun, sir. Just one thing I want to add, next future challenges for Humayun sir asked us, I think there have a lot of services now digitized in Bangladesh, but one challenge is building trust to private sector, because they can get the service without middlemen. Still, they do not believe it, especially those services are very much citizen service oriented, like NID and others. So I request A2IPD sir working on it, building trust to private or citizen. So we can get service from public service without middlemen. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Moshumi, for your nice suggestions. For next generation services, it needs four things. The first one is the building trust all the sector, because all the sector will be shared values, shared knowledge, shared skill, and interoperable for sustainability. The second one is the cyber security, and finally, then providing faceless services. People will not understand the service coming from the private sector or the public sectors. He or she will need the services as per his or her desire. That's the way we are working together, because earlier I said there is no single way to go alone. So that's the collaboration partnerships.
Thank you, Rohan. We have got someone who's joining us, an alumni who is joining us from Mauritius. Shumon, introduce yourself.
Thank you, sir. Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon. Respected chairs, special guests, faculty members, and all of our alumni. This is Shumon Acharji. I am actually alumni MPPG 8th batch. I belong to 31st BCS administration cadre. Now I'm working in Bangladesh High Commission, Mauritius, as a first secretary. It's my great pleasure to be a part of this event virtually. I believe that alumni meeting is a perfect platform for all of us to meet and revive the contacts. Actually, SIPG is a pioneering institution and center of excellence. I'm really proud and lucky that I have been a part of SIPG and will always be in my heart. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shuman. Anyone with any other ideas to talk about?
I have one important submission to all of you, because we conducted so many courses, so many initiatives, both government and private from academia, but no assessment took place. Fundamental research on the program we are conducting, both public sector and private sectors. There is no assessment.
So what you need is evaluation. Okay.
We do, in our case, tracer studies. We did 2 rounds of tracer studies to understand formally with a formal questionnaire that what were the learning from the participants who have passed out. And we have that report with us. If you are interested, we can share it with you. For MPPG only, the tracer studies have been done.
Well,
I'm not involved with EMPG or MPPG program, but I do have some observation, especially talking from academic and non-academic point of view. As you can mention, like SIPG helping you to be more critical thinker. At the same time, if I go back to the chief guest just mentioned, need to have some assessment and other things that can lead into the question of like, since 2009, the government, digitalized Bangladesh. Now we are moving forward, smart Bangladesh. So if I go back to our previous work and other work, we need to do some in-depth study, and that can be done from private university or government university through the PhD program. So unfortunately in Bangladesh, the private university didn't have access to continue the PhD program. So government officials are here. They have a good relationship with so many other stakeholders. Probably they can do something for, approving or allowing some of the university, topmost university, probably the private sector to have PhD programs so that we can go back and dig into those programs and make them better. Because without going through this in-depth research, it would be very difficult to imagine in future there will be something good. That's my comment. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I want to add something. Actually, when we have completed the MPPG program in North-South University in SIPG, and I think SIPG probably the best department for research course. And as I know, as far as I know, no other private university and mostly other private public university who don't have this environment to complete a PhD program. So my suggestion or my want is that we can, whether we can initiate a course by negotiating UGC that masters leading to PhD program. So I think this will be a great idea for that. Thank you.
I can add one bad example from myself. Sorry. The first one is in few months back from A to I, we wanted to, as the decision of the cabinet divisions, so far we had been converted the 1,000 digital services. The one of the prime concern or the understanding whether it has been contributing to the public service delivery, there is a reduction of time, cost and visit, as well as the increase of satisfaction, access and quality. But the design we took places, so the IMED, so one university I not mentioned, conducted the study. It's a very parochial, very shallow, and not in-depth study that could contribute to the A2A program. Thank you, sir.
You have not tried us anyway. Kathleen, you wanted to say something? Yes, that's that's procurement process. Yes.
Thanks for letting me say a few words. I just thought that I would add, I hear some requests for more hard skills training, but I think some soft skills training also could be beneficial as continued professional development. I know that in the communications class that I was teaching, we did the leadership coaching and the public speaking, and there was a tremendous benefit from the students, so that, you know, there's a talk at Toastmasters Club, and there are some people from the Bangladesh government in that, and they feel it really helps them to develop their confidence and their ability to speak in front of people and to network outside of the government. So maybe SIPG can consider opening an SIPG Toastmasters Club. And Zakir Mohammed can certainly help because he established the North-South University Alumni Toastmasters Club. We also have for the undergraduates a Toastmasters Club. And it really helps people to develop these soft skills and leadership skills that are probably very necessary, I would think, in all of your roles. So I can help you set it up if you want to. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, sir. Once 10 seconds. That's while we design a digital service, we just need the hard skills. That is the domain knowledge, because you'll understand your job specification and other things. That's the hard skill. Then the soft skill, how you are dealing with the implementation level. That's the soft skill, emotional intelligence, leadership quality, communication skills, and so on and blah, blah, blah. That's been linked. Not that's a missing link, I think.
Okay, let's maybe that's your last one because we're running behind schedule. After you, we will, reconvene in the faculty lounge for the cultural program and the lunch. Yes, Sadat.
Thank you, sir. Indeed, it was excellent opportunity to come to Northern University under this program. And it was very enlightening speech from our chief guest, Moin Kabir sir, because of he combined the academic knowledge as well as practical experience. It was excellent, as well as Chairman's speech is definitely very good, that knowledge proof. So my point is that throughout my experience, what I have found that in Bangladesh civil servant, we need some lack of expertise in different fields. Suppose those who are working at the Ministry of Commerce, there should have some expertise pool. Due to having transfer or not having some required knowledge, they cannot be expert. There are few, definitely. In case of finance division, there are some expertise because they work for the long time. They learned through training and the academic program, and they become the experts. So those organizations who are in which people are working for a long time, they have definitely capable of achieving expertise. So in a sense that there we have term hard negotiation. So from my experience, I think if you do not have industry expertise, so only negotiation training, I cannot give you anything. So if you have some investment expertise, if you have some trade expertise, if you have some international development cooperation expertise, then negotiation become very much useful. So there has been also a term came to the floor that we are going to graduate to the developing country in 2026. So we will have to face several challenges. But our organizations is Ministry of Commerce and ERD, they are working, and also other ministry also working. But I think that the MPPG program can also focus on this area, that how to prepare government officials to cope with the LDC graduation challenges after 2026. So young officials need to be trained and expert in this area. So the issue is that why I am raising this issue, that I did PhD program under this program. And my experience is that 2 or 3 master's degree program is not enough or compare in one PhD program. So if you would like to create an expert, then definitely PhD degree is very good. And what I have found from this North-South University joint degree program with Bergen University, Nepalese Tribhuvan University, and Sri Lanka Pride University, that I am the first best, and no other best has been taken place under this program. So my request is that whether it can be continued, that young officials may have some master's degree, but as well as they would have a chance to do PhD program. So as young officials do PhD program, they have long time to work at the ministry or at the offices, so they can contribute more. But aged person, if you like me, if I do PhD, so I have less time to perform at the office or the working institution. So I think that if you consider the new entrants or young officials, those who have completed master degree program and continue the PhD program that we did, so it will be better. So my request to this Northern University and the SIPG program that it can be continued, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Sadat. Let us wrap this thing talking about something.
Just to add that we are ready to run PhD. So that's the problem that with UGC, and we are still lobbying and very strongly. And recently, Education Minister herself, she said that the private universities, 2 of them should start PhD. So hopefully the ice will be broken and some good news will be coming. We have 8 PhDs so far, joint PhD that we completed, under which you did your degree. 2 more things I want to add. One is that we will organize definitely refresher course, but also your active participation will be needed. I do understand why our honorable special guest was saying that sometimes the free courses are not taken very seriously. So that's why sometimes the course fees issues are coming to make it productive, but probably will not charge fees, but your serious active participation will be very much needed. 2 services that NSU is giving only MPPG alumni and MPG alumni are, one is basically library access, and please use that. NSU has one of the finest online libraries in the country. Especially you all use My Athens system, all these gestures and all other world ranking journals and books you will can get access. Shumon Acharya, who is now in Mauritius, he is using this access from there for writing his reports there on migration, labor issues. So please take access, and if you face any problem of using that, we will give some kind of the orientation or something. The other facilities that university wants to see that our alumni are taking is basically a joint research project. NSU is ready to fund any joint research project by MPPG alumni and one of the faculty members here, and up to 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs kind of a funding is available. So if you are interested to do any kind of the research, but only condition is one of the co-researchers should be one NSU faculty. So we have few of the young faculty member, Dr. Benjamin, Dr. Akram, Dr. Wahab, and many others. So if you're interested, please be in touch with us. Finally, MPPG 11th batch admission circular is now there. You will get a flyer in your bag that you get. So please circulate it as much as possible, and you are the best ambassador to tell what kind of program is and why your colleague should do it. So our admission test will be for MPPG 11 batch 6th of July, 9th of July. I hope that you will circulate is as 8th of July. Yeah. So please do that. Yeah. Thank you.
That brings to an end to this session. We'll reconvene in the faculty lounge with the cultural program and lunch. Okay, maybe we can have people who are not talking can actually talk freely then. And Humayun will give. Thank you, Humayun, for giving inputs and giving the feedback. Maybe we can actually use this in as a training.